Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We are just going to give folks a moment to clear the waiting room and connect to audio. As a reminder, when you are entering from the waiting room, please do remain on mute unless or until you are presenting before the board. Good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. Before I review procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman of the Board, Kathleen Joyce.
Thank you, Danny. Good morning. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm Chair of the Boston Licensing Board. Today, I'm joined by my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Liam Curran and Commissioner Kiana Saxon.
Thank you. Please ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly when you are presenting before the board. I will call each item in the order that it appears on this morning's agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. You will make a brief presentation regarding your proposal, followed by questions by the chair and commissioners. Following questions, there will be an opportunity for testimony, beginning with elected officials or their representatives. For members of the public wishing to testify, please limit your testimony to 2 minutes, and please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any. Begin with the first item on this morning's agenda, calling item number 1, EAHG Boston 2 TRS LLC, located at 90 Tremont Street. Holder of and in-holder all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Corey Hayes to Patrick Herrick. Attorney Elizabeth Pisano. Attorney Pisano.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Elizabeth Pisano from Upton, Connell, and Devlin on behalf of the licensee. With me today is Patrick Herrick. He is the proposed manager of record. Patrick is a U.S. citizen, a Massachusetts resident, and is familiar with the rules and regulations relating to the sale of alcohol of this board and the ABCC. Patrick is TIPS certified. He has over 10 years of experience in the food and beverage industry, specifically here in Boston at the Hilton Back Bay, where he's worked for 8 years as the assistant general manager and food and beverage director. He has also been the manager of record on a liquor license here in Boston many years ago at the Embassy Suites at Boston Logan Airport. This was a while back, but he has been named a manager before. And we're happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, attorney. Thank you, Mr. Herrick, for joining us. At this time, I have no questions.
None for me.
None for me.
Thank you all. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Hi, this is Laura from Consul Flynn's office. He would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling item number 2, Dailongi Hot Pot Inc., doing business as Dynasty Restaurant located at 14 Hudson Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Li Min Chen to William Jianmin Huang. Secondly, has petitioned to change the corporate name of the licensed business from Dailongi Hot Pot Inc. to Dynasty Restaurant Inc. And thirdly, has petitioned for a change of officers directors. And lastly, has petitioned for a change of stock interest. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
I see Mr. Huang here.
Hello. I believe Chun Li is my spokesperson, but let me look for him in the call.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't, Attorney Lee, are you with us? If not, we can certainly take a second call and try to contact him so that you have your attorney with you.
I guess I'll try to contact him. Sorry about this.
No
No
problem.
worries. We will have staff try to contact him as well, and we will take a second call on this item. Thank you, Mr. Wang. We'll come back to you later in the hearing. Moving on to item number 3, Harvard Club of Boston, located at 374 to 380 Commonwealth Ave. Holder of a club all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from 4 rear entrance on Newbury Street in whole building with 700 capacity at Harvard Hall, 351 capacity at Assembly, 93 capacity on second floor dining, 114 capacity at Bartlett Room, 95 capacity at Grill Room, and 96 capacity at Boston Room. 2, 4 rear entrance on Newbury Street in whole building with 700 capacity at Harvard Hall, 351 capacity at Assembly, 49 capacity at Veritas Lounge, 86 capacity at Veritas Dining Room, 210 capacity second floor banquet dining, 114 capacity at third floor club room, and 95 capacity lower level club pub, with annual patio on private property with seating for 36 and closing at 10:30 p.m. Attorney Tom Miller. Attorney Miller.
Thank you, Secretary Green. Good morning, Chairwoman Joyce, members of the board. Tom Miller from Jeremy Quilty Miller and Hanley on behalf of the Harvard Club of Boston. I'm joined by Stephen Cummings, manager of record for and the general manager of the Harvard Club. We're here today because, as Secretary Green said, we're applied to make permanent the outdoor patio they have been using through COVID protocols. The other changes to the description are just cleaning up the old description to make it match the ISD certificate of inspection with no work to be done. It's just kind of housekeeping cleanup to make everything streamlined. Over the last 4 years, members of the Harvard Club and their guests have come to appreciate the amenity of the outdoor patio, allowing them to dine with a view of the Commonwealth Ave Mall. For a little bit of background, the Harvard Club itself was founded 112 years ago and is currently has approximately 3,800 members from around the world. They've operated successfully throughout all that time without incident. This application will allow the Harvard Club to continue to operate the patio here, which its members have enjoyed since 2020. They'll be offering lunch and dinner service to members and their guests 6 days a week. Lunch service from 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. and dinner service would begin at 5 p.m. Service would end at 9:30 and all members and their guests would be off the patio by 10:30. There's a proposal for 36 seats in 2 spaces on either side of the entrance along Com Ave. There will be no music or entertainment out on the patio. The plan and design for this patio have already been through the design review process by the BBAC. So it's been thoroughly vetted for its support and character and connection with the neighborhood. And it's received their approval. As the board can see from the letters of support we submitted with this application, they have this is an amenity that members and their guests do feel there is a need for, and one that they will greatly add to their enjoyment of the dining experience at the club. We want to thank you for hearing this application today, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Want me to jump in, Danny?
Absolutely, if you have any
Okay.
questions.
Attorney Miller, just want to confirm, you've been using this temporary patio through our temporary program. You've been using this patio. It was permitted through our temporary program for the last few years.
Yeah, it's a smaller version of it, but yes, this patio
Smaller
has been,
version. Okay,
yeah,
and there was no
patio-
issues.
not that we're aware of. The patio's been operated through the COVID protocols.
Okay, great. And just to confirm, the patio it's on property owned by the Harvard Club,
Correct.
and you would be closing at 10:30 p.m.
Yes, service would stop at 9:30 and they'd make sure everyone was off by 10:30.
Okay. I have no questions. Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon?
I have no questions, thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify in this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office like to defer to the judgment of this board. Can confirm that we also received letters of support, 11 in number, from residents of Back Bay, as well as property owners and business owners. They cited what they felt was the lack of any existing issues with the pre-existing patio, as well as an opportunity to bring more people to the neighborhood. We also received a letter in opposition from the local civic association, NAB, expressing concerns about this setting a precedent, as well as citing that they feel this location is much more residential compared to other locations in the neighborhood that have outdoor dining. With that, we'll defer to the board at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify? I see a hand raised from Conrad Armstrong. Mr. Armstrong, I'm going to ask you to unmute. You may please provide your testimony.
Hello, I'm Conrad Armstrong from 439 Marlborough Street, representing the Neighborhood Association of Back Bay. Sent an email later last night, but I will mention that we oppose this. We think it sets a bad precedent for patios of private institutions. If you think about it, there are very small private institutions up and down Commonwealth Avenue. They all had patios. It would drastically change the nature of the Commonwealth Avenue Mall. And also point out that this is a private club, so residences can't even enjoy this patio unless they become members of the club or invited by guests. And we think that's a shame. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Secretary Green, would you mind if I just address some of those concerns?
Chairman Joyce, is that fine with you? Okay, great. You may.
Please, go ahead.
Thank you. I'll keep it short, but as the board is aware, the board is not held to precedent. They look at each application on its own merits. Here, we believe this is a strong case for you to approve it. The Harvard Club is a quality operator with an impeccable, that's the word I wanted, track record. This is a reasonable alteration of their premise. It's not out of character with the neighborhood. It's, as you know, evidenced by the approval by the BBAC. It will be run in a way that doesn't cause a nuisance or is detrimental to the community. It will be an amenity for this club, as this is a club license. And, even though you're not held to precedent, there are existing patios along Com Ave, existing at Buttermilk and Bourbon and Duave, which is directly across the street, as well as there's an outdoor patio or outdoor area at the Quinn, which is another private club along Com Ave. So we feel that this is, this in and of itself is a strong application that will not in any way harm the community surrounding it.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? And anything further from the board? Board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do see that we have been joined by Attorney Chung Lee. Attorney Lee, are you with us and prepared to present on item number 2? Oh, you are on mute right now. While we're unmuting, I will read back into the record.
Hi, can everybody hear me?
We can hear you. Thank you for joining us.
Again, I really apologize. I got caught up by the remote hearing with the Norfolk Probate Court. My apologies to the board. I try to switch as soon as I can, so my apologies.
No worries. Thank you for that. We'll just call back in item number 2, Dialongi Hot Pot, doing business as Dynasty Restaurant at 14 Hudson Street. The holder of a common victualler, 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Li-Min Chen to William Janmin Huang. Secondly, has petitioned to change the corporate name of the licensed business from Dialongi Hot Pot Inc. to Dynasty Restaurant Inc. Thirdly, has petitioned for a change of officers, directors, and lastly, has petitioned for a change of stock interest. Attorney Lee, if you could please briefly present the proposed changes to the board.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, we're here this morning to, as you indicated, Mr. Green, primarily to change the corporate name. As everybody has been having problems saying Dialongi Hot Pot, especially if we say it fast 5 times. We're proposing to change it to Dynasty Restaurant, which is more traditional, and it's also the DBA name of the restaurant at the moment. We've already filed that with the Department of Corporations and the Secretary of State's office, and we're here to request this change. In addition, the previous manager and stockholder and treasurer and director, Mr. Li-Min Chen, has apparently decided to go to other endeavors somewhere else and search for new opportunities. We wish him the best of luck. But in the meantime, we would like to change all the positions and stockholder equity positions that Mr. Chen has held to Mr. William Chen. Mr. Chen has been working with the restaurant since its inception, started business. He is working there as a manager, so he's well versed with the operations of the restaurant. He's also well versed in the operations of Chinatown because he's been a resident or an operator of other businesses in Chinatown as well in the past. He understands the rules and regulations of the liquor license, the rules of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and the requirements and regulations as it deals with the service of alcoholic beverages in the city of Boston. He understands that. He understands the operation. So we believe that he is, in fact, a very competent and well a good fit for the manager, liquor license manager for the Dynasty Restaurant. In addition, because Mr. Chen needs to leave the corporation, Mr. William Wong will be also the transferee of the stock equity, which equates to 45%. And also he will assume the corporate officer duties as the treasurer and director of the corporation. Other than that, everything else remains the same. Operating hours, everything remains the same per the approval of this license previously. So we're asking this board to approve this change and then with the new manager and allow the business to continue without interruption. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll see if there are any questions from the board at this time. Chairwoman Joyce.
Thank you, attorney. Thank you, Mr. Huang, for joining us. Just two questions around the manager of record position. Mr. Huang, are you a citizen?
Yes.
And are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No further questions for me.
None from me, thank you.
None for
Thank
me,
you.
thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Good morning, this is Laura. I'm sorry my camera is off. I'm just a little sick. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I would like to go, Councilor Flynn would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And again, I apologize for being late.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Calling item number 4, Fuente Cleaning Services, Inc., doing business as Biliaris Columbia, located at 28 Bennington Street in East Boston. Holder of a common victualler 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license, has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to ZAA KFL LLC, doing business as Biliaris Columbia at the same location. Laura Periana's manager, 2 a.m. closing hour. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board, Attorney Green, Attorney Tyler Hensler here from Upton, Canal and Devlin, here representing ZAA KFL LLC. Joining me from the LLC is the 100% sole owner, Laura Perianes. The seller of this license, Fuentes Cleaning Services Incorporated, is owned 100% by Laura's father-in-law, Rigoberto Restrepo. He's been in the business for a very long time and he's looking to retire. Instead of going through a lengthy estate planning process, he has elected to transfer this license to Laura so that the business can be kept in the family. Laura has been in the business for several years as an employee of this establishment and shift manager. This business has undergone several changes over the past year or so, and Laura has been integral to these recent changes, which have taken place as she has learned that she will be taking over. So she's experienced and she knows, what areas needed improvement at this business, and she took action. These changes include the renovation of the restaurant, including improvements to the extensive soundproofing effort, including soundproof ceilings, the construction of a soundproof buffer in the back door area, which completely stops sound from escaping the building, and soundproofed windows as well. This soundproofing alone has cost over $50,000. Which shows the genuine concern for their neighbors and their long-term investment into the East Boston community. All of these changes, again, which Laura was integral in initiating. The character and fitness of this applicant is strong. These changes that she has, again, initiated, as well as her experience as an employee and manager of this establishment, show that an understanding of the surrounding community and the neighborhood, but also of the applicable laws. These factors taken together paints a compelling picture of the character and fitness of Laura Perianes and this new licensee. The public need of a license at this location is, of course, demonstrated by the existence of this license at this location for several years. Laura will also be the manager of record. She is a U.S. citizen. She is a Massachusetts resident. She is familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts pertaining to the sale and service of alcohol, and she has experience in the industry. As aforementioned, she's worked at this establishment and was a shift manager for many years. Also, other than improvements to the interior and the new soundproofing and continued total compliance with the City of Boston, there will be no other operational changes. So it will be there will be continuity between, the current licensee and right now. And finally, we received a letter of support from the Maverick Center Neighborhood Association back in November. If the board doesn't have that letter, we're happy to forward it. With that, we're happy to take any questions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, attorney. Thank you for joining us today, Ms. Laura Perenez. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. A couple of questions. Will you be the 24-hour contact for this location?
Hi, how are you? Morning. Yes,
You'll
It
be the
will be, yes.
24-hour contact?
yes,
Okay, so we need your cell phone number so we can get in touch with you 24 hours a day.
okay.
Also, so how long have you worked here?
A year.
Okay. Are you familiar with some of the issues the board has had with this licensee over the last year or two?
Yes,
And you're committed to moving this license in this location in the right direction with your management?
yes.
What is the capacity of this licensee?
49 person.
And what is your staffing like on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night?
5 people.
Do you have security? Do you have doormen? How many bartenders? Can you break it down for me?
We have 3 bartenders and 2 securities.
Yeah.
Okay, those are my questions for now, Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Questions, thank you.
No questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office like to defer to the judgment of this board. ONS does not typically require community process for these types of exchanges within a business. That being said, we do want to go on the record that we are aware from concerns from neighbors and as well as civic association and other stakeholders with the frequency that Boston Police Department has had to be called to this particular business. So we go on the record that we hope with these new changes that they continue to stay in line and follow the rules. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Okay, the board will take this matter under advisement. And Attorney Hensler, I don't believe we have seen the letter from Maverick Civic. So if you could forward that, that would be great.
I will forward that, and Ms. Periana's cell phone right after this hearing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 5, Next Corporation doing business as ODB Liquors located at 732 Huntington Ave in Mission Hill. Holder of a retail package store, all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to 732 Brigham Inc., doing business as Brigham Liquors at the same location. Charvac Carp Manager, 11 p.m. closing hour. Attorney Thomas Truax. Attorney Truax?
Yes, Mr. Green, good morning. Mr. Green, Madam Chair, members of the board, Attorney Tom Truax of Salem. I'm appearing on behalf of the proposed licensee 732 Brigham Inc., doing business as Brigham Liquors. The underlying, the petition before you is a transfer application, but it is also a change of a DBA from the current name ODB Liquors to the proposed new name, which is Brigham Liquors. With me virtually are Jatin Kumar Patel, he's the president of the corporation, and Chair Carpe, who is the director and also the proposed license manager of the corporation. Mr. Carpe is a U.S. citizen. He is a Mass resident. He's also familiar with the rules and regulations of this board and the ABCC as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol. The underlying transaction is fairly straightforward. It is a sale of substantially all the assets of the business, ODB Liquors, including a transfer of the Section 15 all alcoholic beverages license. As for experience, Mr. Carpe comes before you with a little over 3 years of experience as a manager at Huntington Market at 818-820 Huntington Avenue, just up the street, where he's been the manager there for a little over 3 years. that is a full all alcoholic license at that store. He is also tip certified. As for Mr. Patel, he comes before you with around a little over 3 years of experience as well. He has been working at Harvard Convenience, which is a package store at 157 Brighton Avenue in Alston. As for operation, pretty much a change, no changes on this one. I have been in communication with the neighborhood liaison, Maggie Van Scoy, and she had indicated that this did not require any hearing on this matter. And we would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Attorney Truax, and thank you, Mr. Karp, for joining us. I believe your attorney covered all the manager of record questions. At this time, I have no other questions for you.
I have no questions as well. Thank you.
None from me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 6, Blue Nile Inc., doing business as Blue Nile Restaurant located at 389 Center Street in Jamaica Plain. Holder of a common victualler 7-day wines and beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Beza McKenzie LLC, doing business as Blue Nile at the same location. Theodoros Tesfaye, manager, 12 a.m. closing hour. And secondly, has petitioned to pledge the license to Blue Nile Inc. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Elizabeth Pisano from Upton, Connell, and Devlin on behalf of the applicant, Beza McKenzie LLC. This application is to transfer a wine and malt and cordials license from Blue Nile Inc. to Beza McKenzie, as well as an application to pledge the license. With me today is Hermela Belichu, Robert Eugene, and Ted Tesfaye. These 3 owners are all family, and they are currently, Robert and Hermela currently work at Hughes Restaurant in the Back Bay. So they are a part of the Boston community. Blue Nile is going to remain an Ethiopian restaurant with the exact same name, hours, menu, employees, and essentially all the operations are going to remain the exact same. The only change is the owners. The current operators have had great success in serving Ethiopian food, which has turned out to be very popular in this neighborhood. So we are excited to join the Jamaica Plain community and carry on the same traditions and ethnic Ethiopian cuisine recipes. The proposed manager of record, Ted, is a U.S. citizen, a Massachusetts resident, and is familiar with the rules and regulations relating to the sale of alcohol. He'll be on the premises over 40 hours a week. He has experience in the food and beverage industry. Specifically, he worked at another family-owned Ethiopian restaurant in D.C. for about 4 years, which also served alcohol. And right now he is currently working at the Blue Nile, where he's been for the past 4 months, working full-time alongside the current owner to get some extensive training before they would take over. So there is, and the current owners will stay on there as an employee until the end of the year to make sure there would be a smooth transition. And lastly, we met with the Main Street Neighborhood Association last night to gain their support. So we're happy to answer any additional questions that you have.
Thank you, Attorney Pisano. Thank you for joining us all today. I have no questions at this time.
I have no questions as well. Thank you.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Jordan here from Councilor Benjamin Weber's office, District 6. I just want to speak in support of the applicant. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify? I see a hand raised from Michael Reiskind. Mr. Reiskind, you may please provide your testimony.
My name is Michael Reiskind. I live at 425 South Huntington Avenue in Jamaica Plain. I'm a member of the Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council and chair of its Public Service Committee. We had a neighborhood hearing on this issue yesterday, April 2nd, and we urge you to pass this transfer and pledge of license for Blue Nile Restaurant. Blue Nile Restaurants is a long-standing woman-owned Ethiopian restaurant, and we urge you to keep this legacy restaurant in the neighborhood. We feel that Hermela Belichu and Ted Tesfaya are appropriate licensees to manage this restaurant with the beer and wine and liqueurs appropriately. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 7, Commonwealth Market, Inc., doing business as Tropical, located at 1090 Commonwealth Ave, holder of a retail package store wines and malt beverages license, has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Shippy's Retail, Inc., doing business as Commonwealth Market at the same location. Govind Patel, manager, 11 p.m. closing hour. And secondly, has petitioned to pledge the license and inventory to Rockland Trust Company. Attorney Dennis Quilty. Attorney Quilty.
Morning, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty, attorney representing the applicant entity. With me this morning is Chintan Patel, who is the owner of the new entity, and as well Govind Patel, who is the proposed manager of record. This is a corp-to-corp transfer, no change of location, no other changes to hours or operations, etc. A sale outright of the existing business to the new ownership with a new entity name and the DBA of Commonwealth Market. Both Mr. Patel have extensive experience in the sale of alcoholic beverages. Mr. Govind Patel has been a general manager of another operation in Revere, Massachusetts. He is a U.S. citizen and Mass resident and is familiar with the rules and regulations of the board and the ABCC with regard to the sale and service of alcohol. Chintan Patel, the owner, in addition, has ownership interests in other package licenses. They come before you this morning with great experience in the industry. And as a corp-to-corp, no change. The mayor's office did not require any community outreach. We are happy today to take any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Quilty. Thank you, Mr. Patel, for joining us. I have no questions at this time.
I have no questions as well. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 8, Metamorphosis LLC, doing business as Metamorphosis, located at 1153 Washington Street in Mattapan. Holder of a retail package store wines and malt beverages license, has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to LM Wines and Spirits LLC, doing business as LM Wines and Spirits at the same location. Giuseppe Arcari, manager, 11 p.m. closing hour. Secondly, has petitioned to change the category of the license from a retail package store wines and malt beverages to a retail package store all alcoholic beverages. Lastly, has petitioned to remove the following condition from the license. As agreed, beer and wine shall be contained within no more than 1/3 of the public area of the licensed premises. Attorney Ryan Spitz. Attorney Spitz.
Great. Thank you, Attorney Green. Madam Chair, Commissioners, Ryan Spitz, attorney for the applicant here today, Adams and Moranci, business address of 168 8th Street, first floor, South Boston. Joining me today is the manager of record of LM Wines and Spirits, LLC, Giuseppe Arcari. Mr. Arcari is a United States citizen, resident of the Commonwealth. He is familiar with the rules and regulations of this board and the ABCC, and has also extensive experience in the food and beverage industry. In fact, he is a manager of record with other locations within the city. Mr. Arcari has a stellar reputation with this board, the ABCC, and with the city of Boston. As read into record, this is a transfer of license from Metamorphosis LLC to LM Wines and Spirits LLC at the same location. By way of background, Mr. Arcari purchased this existing single-story building that housed the Metamorphosis package store. Mr. Arcari shortly thereafter decided to develop this property, which went through an extensive BPDA Article 80 small project review and was approved on July 14, 2022, and then approved by the ZBA on September 13, 2022 for a new mixed-use building consisting of 4 stories with 24 rental units and a ground floor commercial space that will be the new home of LM Wines and Spirits LLC. Due to the approval of this new development on the existing parcel, as well as many other mixed use and commercial businesses in the area that are a quick walking distance. We feel that we serve the public need to provide this emerging neighborhood with more package store options than just beer and wine, which was the reason the applicant has petitioned this board to change the category of the license from retail package store wines and malt beverages to retail package store all alcoholic beverages. Lastly, the applicant has petitioned to remove the following condition from the license as agreed. Beer and wine shall be contained within no more than 1/3 of the public area of the licensed premise. We feel that this condition appears to be outdated. It doesn't serve a purpose relatively to this new approved mixed use in the surrounding areas. Lastly, the capacity, load, and final square footage of this commercial unit is tough to gauge exacts at this point, as the construction and the build out has not begun. The applicant will continue to keep this board informed while undergoing the construction phase. And if it is determined that an alteration of premises application is necessary, the applicant will be sure to file for such with this board. At this point, I'm going to pause for any questions or comments from the board.
Hi, thanks. So I'm just realizing now, so this is going to be, the current structure is being torn down and a new building is being put in.
Correct, yes.
So, okay, and so we really don't, I'll have to look at the floor plan to see how big the new space is. My question was going to be, you know, how much was going to be hard alcohol, but since it's a completely different space. Okay, at this time, I don't have any other questions. Just looking at the map to see where the other package stores are, but I'm familiar with the location. You can go right ahead unless Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon have questions.
I guess I think I was gonna jump on what you're doing at the moment. Attorney Spitz, you know how close the next closest all alcohol is to this location?
I don't, but I could do some, further due diligence and get back to you on that as well.
It's all right. I think we can both, myself and the other commissions can look at the map. It's all right. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No questions at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairman Joyce, any further questions before we move to testimony?
So the previous location was part convenience store, part beer and wine, correct?
Yes, it was.
So that's why they had one of those conditions on there. Is
Exactly.
the new idea is not going to be convenience store, it's just going to be package store?
Correct, yes, because considering that the Star Market, how close in proximity it is to that, they have options that will fully service the community there.
Okay, that's very helpful. I have no other questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Ross Cochran. I'm the Dorchester liaison for the mayor's office. We'd like to defer to this board's judgment this time. Our office has run the community process for this project. Our office had an abutters meeting on March 6th at 7 p.m. There was no abutters in attendance for that meeting. Likewise, I have no letters of support or opposition on file from the Civic Association, and I believe that this Civic Association in particular does not take stances on these proposals. So at this time, we'd like to defer to this board's judgment. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
And item number 9, Immersive Art Space Boston LLC, located at 130 Columbus Ave. Holder of a general on-premise wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license, has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Post Road Company LLC, doing business as Hill Kitchen, located at 39 Charles Street. Premise consists of 1,750 square feet of restaurant space, with 2 entrances, 2 exits, and a seating capacity of 47. There's a basement level as well, which will be used for storage and office space. Jason Indelicato, manager, 2 a.m. closing hour. Additionally, the applicant has petitioned to change the license type from a Section 12 general on-premise to a Section 12 restaurant. Attorney Andrew Upton. Attorney Upton.
Good morning, everyone. Andrew Upton from Upton, Connell, and Devlin. For the applicant, with me is Jason Indelicato, 100% owner and proposed manager of record. Today, we're proposing a farm-to-table upscale casual restaurant with beer and wine. We envision a neighborhood gathering spot featuring fried chicken, steak tips, tacos, sandwiches, and desserts, all focused on organic ingredients and local New England sources. We believe this will be relatively unique on Beacon Hill, It'll be family and neighborhood oriented. It will be family owned and operated by Jason. It is not a bar. It only has 47 seats. We believe the neighbors are excited. The landlord is excited. It is in a area appropriate for restaurants, as there are several restaurants on Charles Street and 2 across the street. This is the former Vineyard Vines retail store, which has gone out of business. It was, prior to that, it was a laundromat, and prior to that, it was actually a licensed restaurant. Vineyard Vines has been out of business for almost a year. Brooks Brothers, right down the street, has also gone out of business. And we believe if there is no retail opportunity to sell preppy clothes on Beacon Hill, then that certainly indicates a change in the retail landscape, and a restaurant would be an excellent use in this space. I will also tell you that we have submitted a petition of over 90 signatures of mostly Beacon Hill residents who are in favor. We have another 2 sheets of petitions, so I think the number is actually over 100 at this point. The character and fitness of this applicant is strong. Mr. Indelicato has been a retail business owner on Charles Street in the past. He was approved for the Anderson Hill Market last year for a Section 15 liquor license. Everyone will be tips trained. The servers will be tips trained. He will have closed circuit TV and will be sharing that with the police when and if necessary. But he is a U.S. citizen, a Mass resident. He's familiar with the rules and regulations. He has some experience already with a Section 15 license. It may be once that this is built out that we will put in a full-time GM and change them to the manager of record. But until then, we believe Mr. Indelicato is fully qualified. We've done a meeting with the mayor's office on February 6th. We engaged with numerous neighbors about delivery issues, venting issues, the fact that it was a past restaurant, the fact that it is a closed store. We actually reduced the bar area based on input from the neighborhood. We believe this will be a good use for the space, reasonable hours, and family and neighborhood amenity. And with that, we're glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Attorney Upton. Thank you, Mr. Indelicato, for joining us. My questions are, how many people attended the meetings you're talking about? And you said you had an abutters meeting as well, right?
We had an abutters meeting, and just to be clear, we have the Beacon Hill Civic Association meeting tonight.
Okay.
So depending on what happens there, you know, they or we may ask you to defer your vote on Thursday. But we're committed to a full community process.
Okay, and so far the community process has been
the mayor's office only so far.
okay, and collaborative, and you've received good feedback, and was there good attendance? Maybe Connor can.
I would say it was probably under 10 people, but maybe Connor can give more specifics.
Okay.
I mean, the Beacon Hill Civic Association and Beacon Hill residents do not hesitate to delve into detail on these applications, and there were a lot of vigorous questions. But I believe we've addressed most concerns, and the venting of the space seemed to be a subject of discussion, but because it was a previous laundromat, it was obviously up to code then and would have to get up to code now to open.
Okay. I have no other questions.
Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Saxon?
I was just noticing the old location is quite close to the proposed location. Is it across the Civic Association jurisdiction lines, or is it in the same neighborhood?
I'm not sure what you mean by the old location.
Where it's being transferred from, Columbus Ave? Do you know?
Yeah, I think that's a little further away.
Is it too far away to be the same neighborhood? Yeah, across the common?
Yeah, I mean, Columbus Ave is almost in the south end, I think. But I mean, this location at 39 Charles is certainly within the Beacon Hill Civic Association area.
Okay, thank you.
No questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify in this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office will defer to the judgment of this board. I can confirm an abutters meeting was held on February 6th of 2024. The notes that I have was that there were several abutters in attendance. So I think close to that, probably 5 to 10 mark. There was numerous questions which the applicant answered. One resident did express some concerns about trash potentially leading to more rodents in the area. As the applicant's representation has mentioned, they've been in contact with the Beacon Hill Civic Association. It sounds like they're going there tonight. So please, I ask that you also CC us on our emails as well. And then we did hear from one other resident, just feeling that there's already a number of restaurants in this part of Beacon Hill. They weren't supportive of another one, but as the applicant's representation mentioned, they also have a petition with letters in support as well. With that information, we'll defer to the board at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Those are all the items before the board this morning that will adjourn this hearing. The board will vote tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Thank you all and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.